Hi, my name is Patrick Jackson, and this is my personal introduction video for Module 1. Demographics and a little bit about myself. I graduated from Wichita State University with a bachelor's degree in education. I've been teaching physical education for 8 years, all in the same building. I did spend my first year as a traveling teacher, split between 3 different schools. And then the last 7 years, I've been in one of those buildings full time. So I've been very involved in the school that I've been working at. Outside of teaching, I coach 3 sports, cross country, basketball, and track. I've been the team lead for 6 years and on leadership team. Last year, I also served as the dean of students for about 3 months, filling in for that position while she was on maternity leave. And I've also been the sponsor of a couple different clubs. One of which is BASE, BAASE, stands for Better Academic and Social Excellence, and that is a Boys of Color initiative to try to encourage high expectation for grades as they transition into high school from middle school. And then that goes hand in hand into the other club that I'm the sponsor of, which is Middle School Challenge, and that is our middle school Little League football players, making sure that they're keeping their grades in good standing to get ready for high school, because in Wichita, our Little League football program is not interscholastic. The school I teach at is Gordon Parks Academy, and that is a STEM leadership and applied media arts magnet. We serve K through 8th grade. Our elementary is a neighborhood magnet, and our middle school is a traditional magnet. Population about 90% African American, and as our magnet theme has taken off, those demographics are changing just a little bit, but traditionally we've been about 90% African American and also about 90% free and reduced lunch. Leadership and inclusive culture, how I would support inclusive culture as a leader. Number one is ensuring all students feel empowered to learn. That's the goal. Making sure that we use instructional practices that support that, such as collaborative efforts, having students work together as often as possible, or students working with supportive paras or other support staff, finding peer coaches and peer consultants where students can use their strengths to support one another. And also another instructional practice being differentiated learning, where we help support students at different intellectual levels, whether they're above where they're supposed to be or below where they're supposed to be, and they need extra support. Either way, also supporting students with different learning styles and figuring out the best way to engage them and get them the information that they need, and helping to support the best way that they process information. Another big part would be relationship building, being so key in helping students be successful. And a big part of that would be finding value and showing value, not just for students, but also for their families, making the school a friendly place where people want to come to learn and where families want to send their students to learn, knowing that they're included and not excluded. Also in that is building on student strengths, making sure that we're keying on what students are already good at and using that to the best of our abilities to help them grow up upon their strengths, and using their strengths to build on their weaknesses, not necessarily putting their weaknesses under a microscope, which is something that happens all too often. Also, understanding and adhering to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 1975 and other key laws that support inclusive culture and mandate inclusive culture, providing and promoting professional development towards inclusive culture, whether that's just giving pieces during professional development or staff meetings, or incorporating it into week at a glances or weekly newsletters for staff. Also being very purposeful with inclusive language and making sure that we're being good models and good stewards of the idea of inclusive culture. Being an advocate for students and supporting advocacy, we want to provide support by modeling inclusive behavior and language in our building, something that staff can follow, and really promoting the idea that if we live that way, others will start to follow. Having dialogue and creating dialogue for understanding and change with staff and with students and families, ensuring that we make sure that if there's something that is causing students to be excluded or not feel invited or comfortable with their learning environment, that we're doing what we can to fix that. Celebrating diversity and success, just finding other opportunities to make sure students are wanting to be in school and wanting to be engaged. Also feeling that it's not just about sitting down and getting information, but that it's truly about growing as a person in your understanding. And so we want to be able to find ways to celebrate every little milestone that we can, whether that's taking into consideration student background or things that they've done in school, and implementing programs that support cooperation and openness, such as different clubs or other curricular programs that we can put into place, like character education, to help support and advocate for students. Strategies for inclusive and equitable culture. I think starting off, number one, reviewing and adjusting classroom assignments to ensure diversity, looking at who's assigned to different classes. Probably easier said than done in smaller buildings and at the elementary and middle school level, but something that could definitely be achieved at all building levels. As educators and as building leaders, setting high expectation for inclusive practices by staff, and establishing non-negotiables, things that we make sure that we do, greeting students and families at the door, getting to know students as we start off a school year or come back from a long break, figuring out what engages students and what their best means of learning is, analyzing students' performance to plan to support areas of growth, making sure that we're reviewing data, looking at test scores, and looking at, as we are assessing where students are at along the way, and then figuring out what we need to do for their next steps, not just giving them work to go along with a pacing guide for ourselves, but figuring out what pace they need to go at to get where they need to be by the end of a school year. Including character education, as I said on the last slide, making sure that we're teaching students how to treat one another, especially if there are differences, and supporting one another, as well as practice welcoming behavior to all and being very purposeful with that action. Promoting inclusive culture, the steps that I have put together, number one is professional learning time to educate staff on law, addressing inclusion, and making sure that they understand the things that need to be done in order to support all students' learning, not just the students who come to us as what we would see as normal. Incorporating inclusion strategies during professional development, again, whether that's during professional development settings, newsletters, WAGs, or staff meetings or team times. Setting high expectations for staff conduct, and probably finding some way of tracking that or incorporating into walkthroughs and evaluations. Also, as a building leader, modeling inclusive behavior and language yourself to ensure that others are following your example and that you're not just asking people to do something, but you're actually living that idea. Promoting family and community engagement to promote openness in your building and acceptance, as well as continuously analyzing and reviewing inclusive practices to see what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be changed, and what's already going well. So that's my personal introduction video. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to watch some of yours.